Now, one of the things that people will talk about in terms of this API and just in general, when you start building HTTP-based endpoints and services, they will ask, well, is this REST? Can we call this a REST service? And I'm sure your marketing department, if you're building something, commercial or to satisfy certain pointy-haired bosses, calling this REST probably makes a lot of sense. Feel free to have my permission to go ahead and do that. Whether what you end up building with the web API is RESTful or not will depend on whether or not you meet the architectural style requirements of REST. These were laid down in a PhD dissertation by a guy named Roy Fielding. There's plenty of resources in the Pluralsight library, as well as outside the Pluralsight library about how to build RESTful services and what really a RESTful service means. What are the constraints of a RESTful service? The Web API doesn't stop you from building a RESTful endpoint, which is nice. It makes it probably easier than the old WCF HTTP API did in terms of building a service that comports with the architectural style of REST and all the constraints that make up that architectural style. If you want to build a RESTful endpoint, you definitely can. This particular course is not really about building RESTful endpoints. It's just about using the framework. But again, if you want to build a RESTful endpoint, you'll first have to learn how to use the framework.